What's the rudest or meanest thing a stranger has said to you that still bothers you today? I was in Boy Scouts at week-long retreat and one of my friend's parents called me a waste of skin as they were walking away. Waste of skin is a weird thing to say if you think about it. I mean, what? Were you going to do something with this if I wasn't using it? You know what? I'm just going to put the lotion in the basket. I am laughing so hard right now. Do you know how many wallets we could make out of you if you weren't so busy eating snacks, browsing Reddit and wasting your life? Well, do you? I was working to pay my way through university when a woman approached me at my job. I had a job gathering carts for Walmart. I was pushing a line of carts into the store when the woman and her son walked up to me. She then pointed me and said, "This is why we stay in school." To this day I still get angry because of that obscene comment. Edit. Obscene. Not obscene. Reddit hates typos. Why? So we can shop at Walmart? I was in line behind two girls who were each trying to ask the cashier a question at the same time. He holds up a hand to stop them, looks from one to the other, then turns to the first girl and says, "You're prettier. You go first." The other girl just started bawling like crazy. Had a lady come up to me at the mall and tell me, "Your skin looks horrible. You should really go to a dermatologist." The worst part was that she kept harassing me, and it made me feel even worse because although I had gone before, I couldn't afford the medication. I had many people make comments about my acne, or they would ask what was wrong with my face. It was always so shocking to hear, especially when I was already so self-conscious. After years going to dermatologists and trying every medicine under the sun, I finally got on Accutane. It was rough, but I couldn't be happier now. I've thought about Accutane, but I've watched videos and such of people on it, and it seems like there can be some really serious side effects. I used it. Read about the side effects and check to see if you've got something you could inherit, i.e. your dad has psoriasis that could make the side effects worse. It was my last resort and should be yours because there are many different types of treatments. The drug itself is expensive, and some things that will happen to you are dry lips, chapstick baby, dry skin all over moisturizer, and I think for most people, occasional nosebleeds. I had 3 during my 5-month regimen. The depression and suicide thing is extremely rare. 99.9% of people on Accutane don't experience it. I didn't have too much money at the time when I got it, but my insurance was able to cover nearly all of the costs. Remember, it should be after everything else isn't working. But chances are, you will get rid of the stuff. Acne ruined my younger years. Don't let it ruin you. I work as a cashier and, sometimes, a cart attendant at Target to pay off some of my student loans and my phone bill while I'm in college. One night, I was pushing carts back to the store and someone threw a bag of trash out of their window, hitting me in the face. They also shouted, "Get a life, you fat ass scumbag." I don't know why they did it, but they did. I do not wish you well in life. I wished her and her granddaughter a great day at the beach. I worked at a beach store at the time. She said this because I wouldn't give her the clearance price she saw on another bathing suit for the one her granddaughter was wearing out to purchase. Removed. I was sitting outside enjoying the sunshine and some group of girls walked past me and one said "Ew," and they all laughed as they walked past. Something very similar to this is why I never go swimming or take my shirt off outside anymore. I've always been pale, and unfortunately I have a lot of moles, mostly just flat ones. Only a few raised. That, on top of being scrawny and short as a kid, made me really self-conscious about my body growing up. I was about 14 and in line for a water slide at an amusement park when a girl my age who was behind me in line said gross and her friend kind of laughed and told her to stop being mean. I ever so slowly turned my head around, hoping that she wasn't talking about me, but was met with a stare from her emanating this burning hatred. Like my existence as a short dude without a 10 and 6-pack being in her presence offended her greatly. The audacity of a guy like me to try and have fun at a water park. Fucking awkward and upsetting. I haven't taken my shirt off in public since then. It's been 16 years. It's weird how long the effects from something hurtful like that can stick around. A lady thought she put me on hold and I heard all the crap she started talking about me while I was helping her get logged into the computer. I'm dealing with this idiot from IT. Guy doesn't know what he's doing. Normally this kind of thing wouldn't bother me, but for whatever reason I was in a bad mood the rest of the day. Once you're logged in, remember to delete System 32. It really speeds your PC up. Thanks for the tip. I was browsing Omegle with a friend of mine who I think is really pretty. I never feel that good about going on Omegle because people are usually just assholes. Anyway, my friend was in front of the camera and I was sort of leaning back but still in view. We stop at this one guy and he says, "Ugly LOL," and my friend got mad at him and told him he was an ass and he said, "Not you. Your friend." He then disconnected, and although it was just a random guy I still feel sad about it. When I was walking in the shopping center with my mother, some dude my age came up to me and remarked how fat and ugly I was. My mother just laughed. Apparently she thought it was a joke and that I knew this person. That really hurt my pride. What kind of joke would that have been? If this happened to my kid when I was stood next to them, I'd give that little fucker flying lessons from the 3rd floor window. Customer at work the other day snapped at me for seemingly no reason. I asked him a few questions. Do you have a tab opened at the bar already? Would you like to start a tab with me? Or pay as you go? Etc. When he yells at me, "Is that too complicated for you?" I gave him a look of disgust, served him without saying a word, and refused to accept his tip. I'm well aware that there are people in this earth that think less of me for working in a bar. But it still comes as a shock when someone acts so high and mighty when I'm just trying to do my job correctly. I was standing behind a pretty unattractive girl at a club in London. The bouncer was being a prick and letting everyone in before us. After about an hour she complained that it wasn't fair. The bouncer pulled a small mirror, I think it was a woman's compact, from his breast pocket and held it up to her face. He said, "Would you let you in?" She burst into tears and left. I've lived my life trying to be that guy's opposite. Holy shit. Poor girl. That is seriously one of the meanest things you can say to someone. Not only is that shitty, but he had a compact mirror in his pocket. So either he applies makeup at stoplights or he had planned that cruel joke in advance. When I first started working for a supermarket I was 19. Recently moved back in with my parents. And had a horrible case of acne which never went away until I turned 21. I started out working as a bag boy, as you might imagine. One day I was helping a particularly nasty old woman in her 80s. Possibly I do know she needed help with her cart and groceries though. Taking her groceries to her car. I tried being nice, talking to her. And when we reached her car she just said, "God, you're one ugly son of a bitch." I responded with, "I just started taking medication to try to work with my obvious acne issue." Her response? "Good. No one likes you with that face." I put her cart a few cars down from hers, left it, and went back inside. A rude cunt like that can handle her own groceries. And then she went home to die alone and her cats ate her corpse. I truly hope that's how her day ended, since she never came in to complain nor shop at that store again. I was a waitress in college at a family restaurant. If you've ever waited tables, you're probably familiar with the church crowd rush. For those not familiar, the church crowd rush is the busiest time of the week, full of some of the rudest people and worst tippers. On this particular day, I was working a double and was nearing the end of my shift when my last table was sat. These people ordered waters, lots of lemons, and extra sugar packets to make their own lemonade. Requested tons of free bread with extra butter and constantly had me running around for extra something. Anyways, they ordered their meals and extra sides. So I rang them up as meals with 3 sides to save them about 2 per meal. When the check came, I explained this to the matriarch of the table. She didn't understand it and demanded I take off the extra charges and ring it up as they ordered it. She told me that if I couldn't even get a receipt right, I probably couldn't do much else right and would never amount to anything. Which is why I was a server to begin with. I walked away, rang up the receipt the way she wanted it, which was an extra 8, dropped it off and said, "Here you go." I rang it in the right way rather than the smart way. I refused to change it back. Love it? Ever get the church crowd fucks who tell you you're going to hell for working on Sunday? Yeah. Happened to me. Hell doesn't seem so bad if heaven is full of people like that. Ever get the ones who leave you religious propaganda instead of a tip? The best part is that it's printed to look like money. But when you flip it over, it says here's a tip, accept Jesus into your heart. Dante would have created a 10th circle of hell just for those people. I had someone try to pay their bill like that fast food drive-through. A place known for ginger-haired spokespeople paid for a 60 order in Jesus dollars. I ended up chasing them in my car so my coworker could get a picture of the plates. Turned the plate into law enforcement and got a trespass order written up against him. A week later, a crying little bitch appeared. Called us all kinds of insults saying that heaven is repayment enough and demanded that we drop the charges. He got criminal trespass, harassment and witness tampering. He tried to bribe us to shut up about it added to his charges at that point. That made him shut the fuck up. My take. Heaven is divine, but cash is expected. Did he try and bribe you with more Jesus dollars?